Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Tokyo Yo. My name is T. This one's gonna have to be a little bit quicker. I thought there weren't any mosquitoes out here, but they're starting to come out now that the afternoon's setting in. So if I start getting chomped on or if you see a mosquito on my face, please let me know. Recently, I also made a video of the CLYW Akita, which I really like. It's one of those wide yo-yos, and I couldn't resist picking up this yo-yo. It was on sale at Spin Gear. I just happened to find it on sale, so I grabbed it, and I'm very happy I did. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the C3 Yoyodesign Re Master Galaxy. All right, here we are taking a look at the Remaster Galaxy. I got it in black. There's a pink, a black, and a kind of rusty one that I didn't really like at all. So I did grab the black. This was on sale at Spin Gear. They had like a 30 or 40% off sale or something crazy. So it's usually like near $100 in Japan, but it was right around 55 or something. So I felt like it was a great deal. I'd wanted one for a long time, and so it just seemed like the perfect time to grab one, put up some yo-yos for sale in the BST, and here we are. So you can see this profile. This thing is massive. In the hand, it's actually comfortable, which is really shocking. I thought it would be pretty uncomfortable, especially since it doesn't seem like the most ergonomic when you first look at it. It's got almost like a V profile going up here. And in fact, I would say this is pretty much a V profile. It's just stretched out, so it might fool you at first. Not really a step up in the center there, but it does have a nice flat area going to the bearing. You can see for you horizontal lovers out there, it's gonna pretty decently keep the string off, but not perfectly so. Let's go ahead and compare it next to a couple other yo-yos here. Here's the CLYW Akita, and you can see that even the Akita, it's got a whole nother cut in the rim, more of space there. You can see that. Look at that. It's that much bigger than the Akita. And for reference, the Akita is as big as the Manatee, which is one of the wider yo-yos on the market. Here it is next to the Borealis 2, and just, I mean, that's silly. Look at that. That's how much difference we're talking about right here. So this thing is massive, and it's definitely designed for that. It is made of 7075, which is going to affect the weight distribution. We'll talk about that in a little while. In the cup, you've just got the engraving here, which I actually really like. I think it's very classy. I like the cursive up here, and then this kind of offset, almost like retro sci-fi style of engraving. So I'm usually not a fan of cup engravings because they get in the way of finger spins, but this doesn't really bother me that much, so it's actually not too bad. The blast is this, I guess, kind of like soft satiny, like perfectly nice feeling finish. There's no problems there. It is 7075, and I know sometimes blasting 7075 can be a challenge, I've heard, but no problems here. It's got these blue response pads. I have no idea what these are, if these are C3 or whatever. They're probably like C3 pads or something. I remember that C3 has their own pads or their own style of pads, but in any case, these work fantastically well. Have a really nice ring to them when you bind, especially when you're using zipline strings. This is, again, I've been ranting and raving about these strings for a while, but this is the Smoothie blend. It's a nylon and polyester put together. It just works so beautifully for this. And while I'm doing the trick demonstration, you're probably gonna hear a lot of yo-yo ringing, which is a huge reason I take this out all the time. Just listen to that. 7075 has a really special sound to it. But yeah, I guess let's go ahead and throw it around, and I'll kind of tell you what it's all about. Oh, these mosquitoes are getting worse. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. So the Remaster Galaxy. One thing that's a little bit disappointing to me is it is not the smoothest yo-yo. It's not terrible. I did put a new bearing in it, so it's a little bit better than it used to be. But it was a little disappointing that when I first got it out, it had a little hint of vibe to it. And if I had spent the full $90 on it, or $100 or whatever it was, I would have been pretty disappointed. But as it is, with $50 and then being able to swap the bearing out and get a little bit better performance, I've been much more pleased with it. So when you first throw it, the first thing you're gonna feel actually, well, even before you throw it, is when you're holding it in your hand. I had this demonstrated next to the Manatee when I did the unboxing, and you could definitely feel the difference because the Manatee feels a bit more dense, and the Remaster Galaxy definitely feels more well distributed in the weight area, and that's probably because of the 7075. It lets you really push the weight into some interesting ways and lets you even everything out so it doesn't feel too dense or blocky or anything like that. This wide shape just feels super silly, and this wide shape is really silly. There's basically no way for you to really miss on it. It makes things like tension hooks pretty much impossible to miss. As you can see, like moving it around the strings and stuff is just, you have a huge target, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Things like Eli hops, even though I'm being a bit sloppy, is not a problem. got a really nice hiss to it now with the new bearing. Let's show off some slacks. First jade whip. I mean, when you have a target this big, you don't have to worry at all. You can see, even though I wasn't that straight there. Let's do some whips, whippies. Hidemasa. Let's see if I can hit the Brent stole first try. Nope, second try, but still. Finger grinds, they're a little bit bothersome just because of that vibe, but like I said, after I swapped the bearing, it's not as bad, and some people have said that it's like really, really smooth, so I may have just gotten one that's not as smooth as they're supposed to be. And my tolerance for vibe has gone so far down. Like, I tolerate almost zero vibe now. I've gotten rid of most of the yo-yos in my collection that have any hint of vibe at all. Let's see, but yeah, like the gap is so huge. Like, did you see there, like I actually missed the grind. I missed it. My finger was off center because I wasn't paying attention, and I still made the grind. Like, it just kind of bumped my finger into the center, just because if that was like an H shape or a borealis or something like that, I would have missed it. I would have just bonked off the side. But because that catch zone is so enormous, you just don't have to worry about it. It's pretty silly. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of regens on this. Regens feel great on the Remaster Galaxy. I don't know why that is. It just feels really well balanced, and it's very easy to throw out again. Oh, so many mosquitoes. Leave me alone. Ooh. I'm like dodging mosquitoes as I play here. But you see that, like, it's really easy to regen, and I just love that about it. It makes this like really chill, like you can see like my body kind of getting into the groove when I play with this thing, because it just feels so fun. It feels like it's got a really good rhythm to it, and I think that's like because of this really nice weight distribution. I did mention finger spins. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. You can see like it's got a huge catch zone, so you don't really have to worry about it. I don't have much of a nail, but it's still just fine. And that super wide profile, I missed the whip there, but that was my own stupid fault. But you can see like it's impossible to miss pretty much unless you're just not paying attention. See if I can hit my quadruple. I throw it really hard. Easy. Engraving didn't get in the way at all. Thumb grinds. I haven't tried a thumb grind yet. Not really. Yeah, you can a little bit. Sorry, I forgot to talk there. It's fun to get in the groove with this thing. It really feels, what was I saying? Get off. It was nice that I was able to fix it with the new bearing, but yeah, like it does feel like a really nice EDC, because it's one of those that, I know that everybody says this, but it's one of those yo-yos you can take anywhere and it can do all your tricks and blah blah blah, and there's nothing it can't do. And I know I say that too, and it really annoys me when I say it, but it's nice that it's like super wide, so it's kind of one of those that inspires confidence when you're showing someone a trick that you may not be the best at. Like when I'm trying to show someone like, this is how you do a regen, like and it makes it look really easy just because of that wide gap there. But it just makes it really easy, and like it's confidence inspiring, like I said, because of that wide gap. Like it's effortless to do whatever you want. Like I can hit a hook every time if I want to. Hit a hook, hit a hook, hit a hook. Like even that one was like, my timing was off, but I still hit it just because, you know, I just hit it because boom, Brent stole. God, the regens are so fun on this thing. This is a great yo-yo, and I think it's a bit of a shame that it seemed to be kind of slept on, Like, I don't think a lot of people really went out to grab this yo-yo. Like, a lot of time people, when they talk about C3, you've got like the Gamma Crash, which was, yeah, it's fine. The Cyber Crash just came out. All their Crash models. I don't remember what that thing was called, like the Ultra Super Duper Amazo Crash or whatever the one that was super huge was. And now they've got the 9 or 11 or whatever that thing's called, the one that's supposed to be like 1A, 5A, 3A, everything you can do, which I wasn't that impressed by. But like, this thing is such like it's kind of the definition to me of a sleeper hit, where it's like a fantastic yo-yo that does a lot of really cool stuff, and it does it in this really weird package. It's super huge. Kind of reminds me of like the Big Bang from Yo-Yo Empire, where it's like super huge but it's still super capable. And it's funny because even using it next to, like, when I hold this and then I start playing with the Akita feels small to me, which is crazy because the Akita is a wide yo-yo. But this just, it's the widest yo-yo I've ever played, and it's almost to a comedic or a novelty degree, but it's just so capable that it's just so much fun to play. Like, as soon as you throw it, it's just a joy. The only thing I wish was a little different was I wish there wasn't as much of a thud on the end of the string when you throw it, but I think when you kind of get used to it, it's not such a problem. And it could be way worse. I think the 7075 helps a lot with that. But anyway, yeah, the Remaster Galaxy is so much fun. If I ever get more money and, you know, they're on sale again, I would love to pick up one of the splash colors, but I really like the black too. The black with the engraving is really classy. But C3 makes some really fantastic colorways. I know Simpson does some really cool stuff, so if I ever get a chance, I may even pick up another, but we'll see about that. Anyway, I think this is a fantastic buy. 7075, super wide, does everything you need it to. Maybe swap out the bearing if you get a vibey one, but it's just tons of fun. It's the widest yo-yo on the market that I've played that still feels like it plays just as well as any other yo-yo and doesn't suffer for its size or its design. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like, comment, and subscription. I'd really appreciate it. Take care, have a nice day, and sayonara.